Hey guys and gals of YouTube, killer tips and tricks for you today, and I have been fucking trying to find an intro, so you know what, that's the best I came up with. Don't fucking judge me. Anyway, I am a bit rusty at killers, so the gameplay you might see may not be the best, but you know what, it's fine. It's fine, okay? Don't give me shit in the comments. Alright, without further ado, let's get on with the tips. Because I'm sure some of you might be struggling as killer. My first tip to people that are trying to rank up, specifically rank up, when you're playing killer, is, at least the first thing that I like to do, go to the farthest gen, basically the farthest gens from you. This is an obvious one, but one of the top gens that I like to pick from the farthest from me is the ones to the right, mainly because no matter what you do, no matter how you start off, there's usually always one person there, unless somehow they decided to sneak over toward the other side, which, believe it or not, tends to happen. And I've had that happen a bunch of times. That's usually where games get a little bit more interesting. And we got McMullen Estate. Fuck me, I'm stuck. Like I said, rusty. The other tip I'm gonna have to give, because a lot of people don't seem to understand this. All my tips come from my personal experience, just so you know, I'm not being an ass. But most people... Oh my god, there's actually no one here. Most people, when they start out, they don't usually follow scratch marks. This is not me again, this is from personal experience. Hi, buddy. Why the fuck did it give me the... Okay. But, scratch marks. Follow those, and also learn to read them. There are times where a killer will actually follow him, but then when somebody hops in a locker with stay quick and quiet, they stop following him. Who are the deadheads? And then they'll completely lose somebody because they lost the tracks completely. Now, understand that if scratch marks all of a sudden stop, that usually means that they have jumped into a locker. Now, there goes... I'm not ruined. Now, you don't necessarily have to go for somebody that's in a locker. Okay? Understand, sometimes when people do that, they might actually have head-on is what it is. And you went down way too quick. So, completely up to you. Just remember that it's... when people run and then jump into a locker, their scratch marks should just stop. And I'm saying that because there are killers that actually... I don't want the Dwight, that actually do just run past them. So that's just my first tip of the day. Or second tip, I guess. Also, this is my first time doing YouTube, so please be a little nice to me. My next tip that I have to give to people: play with damn headphones. I'm not saying that to be an ass, I'm saying that's because everything in this game makes a sound. And when you learn how to read different... What the hell are you people doing? When you learn how to read the sounds, it's actually helpful. Because now you'll be able to hear every tiny detail, if you will. Okay, okay, thank you. And that's all I'm gonna leave it at that. Another tip is, that I have to give. Don't commit to chases, for the love of God. You know, you had sprint burst, I don't want you. Hi. Don't commit to chases, 'cause What the fuck? I flew! on the rock. Because, so basically pick your targets wisely. There are people like this, like the delete, that actually, well, I guess I can't use the delete as an example, but there are people that know what they're doing. Don't chase these people for maybe more than 9 seconds, I would say. Because if you do that, it's gonna just make the game a lot harder for you. Trust me. Oop, auto aim, fuck me. That wasn't gonna work twice, sweet. So yeah, don't commit to chases. Now, another thing to keep in mind, you can... Ooh, nice. You can commit to some people, to better players, if they are out-positioned. So what I mean by out-position, I mean they completely fuck up and run to like an empty field. Okay. Not sure what happened there. But always pick your targets wisely. I'm just gonna hit all of you. And then I'm gonna go for your dumbass, 'cause you took the hit. And this is a given. I'm gonna slug her, because I don't know if she has decisive. Everybody's over here. This is a given, but don't camp and don't tunnel. If your goal is to rank up, and I'm being serious, if your goal is to rank up, you can't camp and tunnel, especially face camping, because a lot of people that do this, they don't realize how much points they're actually losing. And I understand, I'll be honest, Killer is in a rough spot right now. It really is. You know, it's... And as much fun as Killer is, it is the most fun to play, but it is in a rough spot. And I get it, survivors are toxic, and it makes you want to camp them. It really, truly does. But, okay, no one's here. But you don't want to do that. Because if you do, there's a couple scenarios. If you do, if you do camp and tunnel, there's a couple scenarios, especially against better especially against better survivors. Most of them use meta perks, meaning there is always a borrowed time, a decisive, which I'm gonna say now, get into your head, always keep it in your head, that somebody has decisive. Nice. And always keep it in your head that somebody might have dead hard, because with that mentality, you're always ready at that point, right? And you don't want to, like, you don't want to swing, have them dead hard, and then completely fuck up, because the whole point of dead hard is for them to correct a mistake, right? So always keep in your mind that they might have dead hard and decisive, because those are the two meta perks. Something else that a lot of killers don't do is they don't... Excuse me, I'm currently tryharding. Anyway, a lot of killers don't actually swing through pallets or seem to think that respecting pallets. I get it, you want to get the pallet out of the way, but there's always a possibility that when you swing through that pallet, you'll get the hit. So I don't understand swinging through pallets, and you're the only person I saw it on. Oh, you have borrowed time, cool. So always swing through pallets or take the chance, you know? You never know. You might actually get a fucking hit. So swing through pallets. Another thing that, at least in my experience, killers don't do they don't slug for pressure, right? Slugging seems like a douchey move, it really does, but you're not. When you slug for pressure, you're not slugging everybody, you're just slugging one particular person. One thing that you can do, and this isn't tunneling because you're giving that survivor a chance still. If somebody's rescued off the hook and say you go for the person that went for the rescue, right? And they use dead hard after saving and dodge a hit. But the person that was just saved fucks up. You can slug that person and you can leave them because you know they're not going to be doing anything. And like I said, keep in your mind that they have decisive, right? So you know you're not going to get hit with that and take a 5 second or 6 second cooldown before you can go moving again, right? I'm gonna let the game go a little longer. But, you know, just slugging for pressure, as much as a douchey move as it seems, does help a lot. And that, like I said, as douchey as it seems, it could mean the difference between a victory and a defeat. It really could. Alright, here's another tip. Learn the lunges. A lot of people, when they play this game, they go for swings that there's no hook nearby, that don't really help them in the end. She immediately ran. Something like that, and you know, there are some killers, because of how slow they are, like for example, I've seen killers, they'll go for a swing with Huntress, right? And then they get a little salty when it misses or it doesn't hit. You have to understand, Huntress has a slower movement speed, so it's not going to swing. So learn the lunges, basically. Here's something that I like to say, or this is just me personally, what I like to do. Higher ranked players, when it comes to gen protection, gens tend to go really, really fucking quick against like a rank 1 or rank 2, which, no, go fucking figure. Don't panic. It seems like it might go bad, it seems like it might go down south, it really does, but at the end of the day, the game's not over. So don't get mad, don't freak out. I mean, if you are down to, poor rank 9, if you are down to 1 gen and you have to proxy camp, go for it. Especially if you don't have anybody, but that's really all I can say for that in that scenario. Is just don't panic. You know, remain calm. It's not over yet. Another thing I could say, and this does help a lot, is don't play this game too seriously. Because when you do that, you get angry, you get angry, and then you start playing like shit. And that doesn't make you feel good, right? So just always remain calm, and that's more of just a tip to keep you from losing your shit. Now, I am gonna say that keep everything that I've just said so far, keeping in your mind, especially all the things that I've said, it does come down to the perks that you also bring, because some killers do rely on a lot of different perks. Obviously, if there's a really, really good killer out there, right? Which there is, I'm not gonna deny it. Because I'm not the best, but when it comes to a lot of good killers, if you notice, most of them have specific builds that they use. It's actually a lot harder to play a killer when you don't have the right build, right? I'm just gonna go into a game. Fuck this shit. Just like some killers are goddamn add-on heavy. In case y'all didn't know, I'm a little sick, so or at least a little allergies, I guess, but whatever. You have like a lot of the perk builds that I have seen, I get like maybe they don't have good combinations and they didn't get the perks that they maybe wanted. But don't, this is also an obvious, don't pair perks that don't work well with each other. Like say for example, let's say you combine this is a meme. I'm just gonna use this because I can't really think of anything else at the top of my head. But like self-care and no mither. There are combinations, especially in killer, that do that. Now, I know there's somebody in the comments that's gonna sit here and think, why do I have ruin and overcharge as a combo? Well, one's just a failsafe. So you can keep that in mind too. Is your perk combinations you could also have a failsafe, which is where that question is 3 perks better than 4, which I really shouldn't ask that because there's somebody else that already asked that question. Okay. Like I said, guys, this is my first real video, so please be nice. Alright, something else to keep in mind. I might be fucked on this game. High rank survivors, yes, like I already said this, but like I said, I know people are toxic, but don't lose your shit. Something that killers tend to do, other than committing to other chases, for too long, is when you're faced with a survivor with, say, a flashlight like I am, and they sit there and click at you consistently, do not chase those people. That is actually what they want you to do. And when you chase that, they know that they're getting into your head. And when they get into your head, that means that they know that you want them, and you'll consistently keep trying to get them, right? Don't chase those people. They're just pieces of shit. And at the end of the day, every time they click at you, they're not doing anything, right? Same thing with a flashlight save. You know that person with a flashlight's not doing a gen, so why worry about it, right? Let him be annoying, let him follow you. Go after someone else. And in the event that you down somebody and he's still there, you could always play the bait game, right? Pretend to pick someone up, turn around, go hit that motherfucker. And you can keep doing that, because I guarantee you he'll come right back for that flashlight save. Guarantee you. That is literally an obvious. Keys, I should probably mention keys. When it comes to keys... Oh shit, there were 2. Whatever. And I got stuck. When it comes to keys, just play the game as you normally would. Where did you go? Just play the game as you normally would, you know? Don't worry too much about the key. Because remember, like I said, don't camp and don't tunnel. Nice try, Fung, nice try. Don't camp, don't tunnel. And just, if you lose to a key, understand, in my eyes, when survivors play like that, including myself, it's a bitch way to escape. It is... I thought he used quite quiet. It's a bitch way to win the game. Don't worry too much about it. Ooh, that was good. I have to get this pellet down. Actually, I'm gonna ditch this person. Go for someone else. But same thing, I could say the same thing for Mori's, but we're focusing on killer right now. So killers, don't, and I mean it, don't. I fucked that up hard. Don't worry so much about keys. Just, you know, play it as you normally would, because at the end of the day, you're trying your fucking damnedest, and they're just playing toxic. Get off my... Sucks when you apply pressure, don't it? So, you know, just play as you normally would. I am a broken record, I know. And I got you down beforehand, that's nice. But, you know, just don't worry too much about it. Another thing to not worry too much about... There goes one of my totems, okay. If I'm being honest, don't worry too much about... Let me put it this way. When you pick your targets... There used to be a thing where you would go for somebody with, say, a toolbox, or, shit. Or, She kept running. She dead-hearted. Wasted too much time on you already. But, a primary target, I would not say is a toolbox anymore. I would go for somebody that has a medkit, because medkits are actually extremely powerful on the survivor's end. People are at tier 3. So, you know. Another thing that I'm gonna say killers don't do too much, if I'm being completely honest, they don't use abilities. This is a common... Good job. I know this is a common thing that a lot of lower rank killers do. Is they don't use their abilities, and they don't learn how to use them, rather. Which does bring me to my next point, and that is, don't main one killer. I know people like to do that, and they get good with that said killer, or, you know. But maybe one day you want to play another killer, so that's all I'm gonna say there. Hi. I guess another thing to keep in mind, especially against high ranks. For most of you, I know most of you like to do this. Don't deny it. No-ed. Relying on no-ed kinda doesn't help you in the long run. The reason I say that is because if you rely heavily on that perk in particular, if you think I'm gonna fucking fall for that decisive, I mean, no-ed for me personally it's a crutch perk. It is a douchey crutch perk. I'm not picking either of them up. I think they have decisive. I think this is an SWF. So, most people... If you commit to him, you're stupid. Most people don't understand. I honestly forgot where I was. I have social anxiety, so there's something about me. Okay, now I can go for you. You can't have decisive still, right? No, you don't. I guess I play on console, so this isn't as easy. So for you that play, for those people that fucking god play on PC, hi. Specifically for those that play on PC. Actually, I don't want you. You're pissing me off. It's probably easier for you. So you know, for people that play on PC. I'd like you to throw in your 50 cents on some things that I'm saying here, but if you notice, one thing that I try to always do, especially in these games, I try to keep my camera focused on the survivor I am chasing. The reason why I'm saying to do that is, it's a simple reason. You'll gain speed faster. If you're playing survivor and the killer is, let's say, unable to catch up to you, it's not always the loop. In fact, it's the killer not doing what he should do. So keeping your camera centered on the survivor it helps you gain speed. And that's really all I can say there. I know it's a pain in the ass on console, because console's fucking aim is wonky as shit. Nobody's here. Interesting. I hear somebody. Due to just simple things. It's always the simple things that people miss playing killer. That poor guy could have been saved. It's always the easy things. Ooh, nice dead hard. I don't know why you didn't use it before. So, keeping your camera focused on the survivor that you're chasing does help. And honestly, that is, if I'm being honest, at least on console, like I said, all these come from my experience, and since this is my first real video, I'm kind of struggling, but we'll get through it, right? Hi, where did you run off to? You know, just learn how to strafe, learn how to mine. Oof, fuck me, I missed the simplest of tips. Learn how to see, like I said, remember when I said don't respect pallets? There you go. But learn to hide your red stain, learn how to mind game. Now, this doesn't work for everybody. I'm stupid. This does not work for everybody. I do realize that, because some survivors are actually really good at reading a killer. And you know what? That's completely fine. In that case, they're probably just gonna run. So if they just run, you can chase them for a while, and if they do end up committing to a loop, then at that point you can try a mind game. Like Now, what I mean by mind gaming is some loops you can't mind game, but like walking backwards, like what I'm doing here around a wall. See, he didn't see that coming. He thought I was going around. Now I'm about to get hit with that decisive. Oh, never mind. Yeah. Learn how to mind game. Now understand this takes time. This is not you're gonna get it in one fucking go. This is not. Ooh. This is not a. That's not something you'll learn. It's on the go. You're gonna have to play the game. Damn, a rank 1. Alrighty. I am gonna actually finish up this video. Like I said, this is my first vid, well, real vid, one where I'm actually gonna connect with you guys. I'm actually gonna try and talk, even though I have social anxiety. I'm sure as time goes on, I'll probably get over it and be better at doing this stuff, but I just kind of gave off a little bit of a simple tips. But the biggest ones that I'm gonna remind you all of, don't commit to chases for too long. Learn how to keep pressure. The key to killer is pressure. The key to keeping your gens, pressure. Now, obviously, I made mistakes. I committed to chases for too long in the beginning there, but I did get a 4K in the end, and that's because I left people when I needed to, right? And that's really all you have to do. It's just the pressure of the game. It's all you have to do to keep consistent, which is another thing to keep in mind. You do have to be consistent. If you're not, it's kind of difficult. It's more difficult, especially with an SWF, which is where most toxic people are. And I already know SWFs are unbalanced, but that's that. So anyway, please like and subscribe. Also, if you haven't, I do have another video out. It has no commentary, but it was more just a practice, so it may not be that great, and I do apologize for the quality. I am recording on a PS, so it's not the best, but you gotta start somewhere, right? I do appreciate those of you that may stick around. You know, I'd love to watch myself grow. I'd love to improve my entertainment. For now, it was just an educational video, at least to the best of my ability. So I do appreciate you all, and I will see you guys later.